Hi, AJ.
How you doing?
Do you think Akashic record exists? So can you see past life?
The so-called Akashic record does exist, but let's look at, if you want to really look at what's happening, do you want me to describe what's happening to you?
Yes.
This is what's happening. You are a soul, half of one, with your spirit body and your material body. The spirits who talk about the Akashic record, so here they are up here, males and females who are talking about the Akashic record, they can't see your soul. They can't see it at all. Right? And because these are sixth-sphere spirits on the natural love path, generally, or lower, they actually only can feel what's happening. Now, with your law of attraction, there are other spirits connected to you, right? They could be males or females connected to you. But all of these people will see, and these people, anywhere up to 6, cannot see a spirit in the 7th sphere to the 22nd dimension. They can't see any of them. All they can do is feel, and feel the Akashic record, as you call it. So when they do, what they do is they look at the person and they go, wow, yeah, this person's had a past life. But actually what they're feeling is this spirit who's with the person who they can't see. Right? And then they say, oh, but they also had a past life as a male. Yeah, what they're feeling is this spirit with the person who they can't see. Right? And then they feel a lot of their lives as well as a result. So while all these records are available, if you're in a lower dimension of the spirit world, you can't feel all of it accurately. You can only see what you know to be true at the moment. And the problem is, for most people, is that they are so embroiled that that's the truth, that they can't realise that there's actually like 14 more dimensions above that place that I can't see. And I'm making huge amounts of assumptions. And this is what I asked earlier when I said to the spirits who said, oh, I think we're in the 6th sphere. And I said, is that really where you are? Let's ask a spirit from a higher sphere to tell you where you are. And it's the 4th sphere or 3rd sphere or whatever. Because a lot of times the spirits themselves want to believe themselves to be in a different place than they really are. And they want to believe that there's this thing called the Akashic record, which is actually just your soul. Your soul is stored within every experience you've ever had. And your soul attracts other people's souls to you. And every one of those souls merge together in terms of, if I'm looking at what's going on and I can't see it with eyes, all I can do is feel what's happening, and then I assume these spirits are going to just feel what's happening and assume that you have these past lives. Because those spirits want to believe in past lives. That's what they want. They want to believe in that. So that's what they will assume. And then they'll talk to a medium, and the medium's down here, she's sitting down, talking to you, saying, oh yeah, you've had a past life, it's da-da-da-da-da. And the spirit here's going, no, it's not a past life, it's me, I'm a person, I'm a real person, right? I'm a real person who's with this person guiding them or helping them through their life, and this person can't see it because of the belief in past lives. So what I'm saying to you is that there are a lot of other more logical explanations than reincarnation for people's experiences with so-called past lives. Far more very logical explanations. The problem is, as people on Earth, we don't want to believe what's most logical, do we? Yeah, we like the improbable because we want to avoid the logical. For example, how improbable is it that my blood saves you? It's pretty improbable. Well, 1.5 billion people on this planet believe it. Right? How logical is that? It's not logical. And you see, this is the case with a lot of the reincarnation beliefs too. A lot of times we believe in the improbable because we've got a whole group of emotions associated with the improbable, and we want to believe it for all sorts of different reasons, but we don't realise that there could be, and we don't even allow our minds to experiment with the option that there could be so many other explanations for exactly the same event that I'm just not facing.
It's very empowering to understand that it's spirit attachment, isn't it?
Yep.
Because then you can look at, well, why is that spirit with me? What is common between our experiences? What emotion is drawing that spirit to me? I can progress with that. But if I just go, it's a past life, what do I do with that? The reason that a lot of us are attached to the past life reincarnation thing is because of the feeling that there's no justice in the world. And so how do I explain why some people are living in poverty and I've got a brand new car? Reincarnation. So that helps me get away from the error that's already existing on the planet. Like, I don't have to recognise what AJ was saying before, this society's responsibility in the lack of love that exists here. So if I can go, well, they're just living out karma, then that distances me from their pain and the error that's on our planet. Yeah.
Mary had a spirit with her. She went to a medium, and the medium said, oh, in a past life you were a nun who was also a nurse, and she actually tried to save this man who she was looking after from drowning, and she drowned with him. And Mary goes, oh yeah, that's very interesting. Right? And so what we did instead is translate that into truth, which is Mary had a spirit with her who in her life on earth was a nun who actually wanted to save men, and one particular man from drowning, and she did drown. Right? And when Mary sort of looked at it that way, she could start saying, oh, I can feel a lot of law of attraction here. I can feel what this is all about. Wanting to stop the man from dying, wanting to save the man from dying, all this kind of things. And also that as a nun, I can feel the emotion in me of, wanting to connect to God and wanting to be good and all, wanting to be moral and all those different things. And she could connect to the person herself. And we finished up talking. You can talk to the person. Once you realise they're a person, you can't very much talk to the person when you're going, oh, it's just a past life, Mary, I'll talk to you about it, when in reality it's a person with Mary that I can speak with and discuss this whole event about and help her progress as well as Mary deal with her attraction about it. And that's the beauty of understanding the truth of really what's happening. So the truth about reincarnation is nobody can reincarnate onto the planet without firstly have gone through all the dimensions up into the soul union state. That's what I'm presenting to you as the truth. Now, you don't have to believe it. Experiment with it. And all the spirits who are listening, you don't have to believe it either. Experiment with it, though. I can tell you categorically that there has never been a spirit reincarnate who has not gone to the 22nd sphere.
So how many times you've been on Earth? Just twice?
Just once. Yeah.
Just once?
Second time now.
So, because according to the Theosophical Society,
I've been here.
Ascended Master, Lord Sananda, that is the enlightened being
Yep.
that incarnated as Jesus. So
Yep.
you're not Lord Sananda.
No, not at all. Yosananda is actually connected to a spirit who's in the sixth sphere, who believes himself to be God and believes in reincarnation very strongly. And as a result, he himself does as well. And that's what's lightening him up. That's what's giving him the truth that spirit currently knows. But it's not the truth. And how can we prove it's not the truth? Let's talk to that spirit. But like I've done this so many times with people, said, right, let's talk to this spirit that's with you. Oh, I don't want to do that. Or, why do we want to do that? Let's confront this truth. If it's a truth, let's talk about it. So let's talk about it. And this is how you feel with a lot of your spirit friends, isn't it? Can we just have a mic as well?
He's saying that this is an admission that they've never made, but the Akashic record, it's a reward, it's a falsified reward, so it's a gift in error.
Yeah.
And that's what you actually seek, so they easily give you that as a gift, but you seek that in order to suppress.
Yeah.
So, and they play on that. So.
Yeah. So a lot of times these spirits have all of a set of beliefs that they want to retain for their own emotional reasons and for their own satisfaction, and then they transmit those beliefs to whomever they can on earth so that you accept those beliefs in exactly the same way you've accepted any other false belief that's ever happened, and then they can connect with you through this belief system. My suggestion is forget about doing all of that and connect with God. Connect with God, experiment connecting with God in the manner that I've described, and allow yourself to work through that connection, because as you do, you'll realise what's going on everywhere around you. Spirit interaction, who's with you, who's not with you, why they're there, why they're not there, who am I expecting, everything. You'll know everything through the connection with God. You're not going to know everything with the connection with a sixth sphere spirit, because a sixth sphere spirit has a very, very limited amount of truth available to them. That's only available to their mind, and they haven't even developed their soul yet. And as a result of that, when I say haven't developed their soul, they've developed their soul in morals and in natural love, but not in divine love yet. And as a result, they don't know all the truth of the universe. They can't, because their own mind is incapable of even understanding the truth of the soul. And that's the thing, is that if I need to experiment with that, and that's why I'm encouraging the sixth sphere spirits, experiment with that, encouraging you on earth, experiment with that. But there are answers to all of the questions you can ask about what's actually going on, but they're often not the answer we want to hear. And the problem we have on the earth today is that we often don't want to hear things that trigger us emotionally. What we want to do is have something that helps us to avoid an emotion. And we want to hear that one. So when somebody comes along and tells us sweet nothings in the ear, oh, you're so beautiful. That, oh, it's so lovely. Oh, I love that. Right. And they say, oh, do you realise that you've got a really bad emotion of shame about sexual... You don't want to hear that one, do you? That's like no, I don't want to hear that, right? And this is what we're like. We don't want to hear truth that we feel emotionally hurts us. And if we allow ourselves to hear that truth, we can expand greatly. And that's where God's leading us. God wants us to be real all the time. And this stuff that happens is just people wanting to maintain a fiction in order to have their belief sets maintained so they don't have to deal with an emotion. In the end, you give up trying to hold on to any belief and you deal with your emotions, and ironically in that place you find the truth of every belief. That's the beauty of the divine path. But the path that God created for you. Yeah. Every other path man creates for you, and it's all flawed in some way.